Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video here on Future Ruins. And today, oh boy, do I have something cooked up for you. It is the first weekend in October, and it's been a pretty hot transition into the fall this year. But I'm up here right off the Colorado Trail going into Lost Creek Wilderness, and it is an absolutely stunning day up here. This is one of those hikes that you get to experience one like this at this time of the year. It's just completely worth its weight in gold to be here. Just perfect, cool weather, nice clear day. Certain places in this huge wilderness, I don't particularly like to camp by myself, and that is the subject of this overnight hike. So for the rest of today and this evening, not too much this evening, but tomorrow we'll be discussing a bit about none other than the man, the myth, and the legend known as Bigfoot. So as long as I've been doing these videos, I've never wanted to even address the subject of Bigfoot. But, you know, I've had other people that have watched my channel ask me about it. I just didn't want to be perceived that this would turn into a Bigfoot channel or anything like that. I mean, of course, I know that's not going to happen, but, you know, you do something like this and people see it and you might get labeled. That's certainly not my intention. My intent for this video is, first off, to come out here by myself and sleep for the night in a place that I'm a little bit uncomfortable with by myself. And also, just want to talk a little bit about the subject as well, because this area here, the larger area around here, is known as a hotspot for Bigfoot activity. And a few times I've been out here, I've not, had anything happen, but I've seen some interesting things we'll talk about, and there's just a vibe to the place. I don't know. I guess you could call it squatchy. So this video is going to be part one of 2 videos I have planned to address the subject. And once I've done that, that's it. I'm done. This will no longer be discussed on my channel. I will continue to just do what I normally do. But just because it's a fun subject and it's October, getting close to Halloween, feeling it in the air, I was like, man, it kind of just makes sense and be fun. And so part 1 here is obviously going to be here in the Lost Creek Wilderness, where I'll be sleeping tonight by myself and hopefully not have anything happen. But go walk around and check out some of the trail once we get set up and see if we could find what they call tree breaks, which I've seen out here before. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Part 2 of the video that I have planned for this is going to be in another area where I actually had an experience, me and my wife, and don't know what it was. I'm not going to spoil it right now. If you want to find out the story, you'll have to wait for part 2. But I can tell you that it's very interesting and it'll be worth tuning in for. And I'm going to go revisit the area that me and my wife had our supposed Bigfoot encounter. Now, I don't really, they ask you, do you believe in Bigfoot? I don't think it's really a belief thing, honestly, for me. I'm still on the fence. For me to acknowledge it, I have to see it for myself. And have not ever seen anything like that in my many hours spent in the woods like this. But I've heard some stuff and heard some things that I cannot explain. And I don't think my wife would be able to either. At least I had her there to corroborate the experience with me. This is not exactly where I had planned, but I really do like this little site over here. And I'm contemplating right here, fire pit. Put my tent right there. Some nice big views. The next site I have planned is really nice too, and it's by the water, but I don't know, man, this one feels pretty good. We're almost to the site, and just want to go check it out, and I'll make my decision if this is going to be best for tonight or that other spot. This spot coming up I've stayed at a few times with friends. This is it. Oh, it's been quite a few years since I've been back here. Okay. Definitely a much bigger fire pit. But I remember the last time I was here, it was difficult to find firewood around here. Alright, so a decision has been made, and as much as I really like this spot here, it's just not the same without the guys that I usually roll with. The last couple times that I've stayed here, which was quite a few years ago actually. And there's something about that site that I found a little further down the trail that, I don't know, it just has its charm, and I feel like I want to go give that a try tonight. Nice high points, perfect spot for a tent, and a little fire pit. So we're going to go back over there and see if we can snag it. So we made it about 4 miles in on this trail. The first 3 miles was on the Colorado Trail, and then we took a little bit of a diversion down a different trail, the Payne Creek Trail. Came in about a mile and a half, and made it out here. You can really just go as far as you want to. All kinds of cool spots to camp, and water is reliable. Aside from the subject at hand, it is just an absolutely beautiful day out here with the aspens. Just the weather is just perfect, and expecting it to be a little breezy tonight, but expect to see some stars because it's supposed to be clear. Anyway, gonna try and talk low in this area. If you've watched some of my previous hiking videos, you've probably heard me sort of allude to certain things, but I've never really come out and said it. Never wanted to. Over the years, places that I've hiked and camped, backpack, there's certain places that give me a certain vibe, sort of very uncomfortable kind of feeling that's made me not want to stay in a place like this by myself. First time was actually like on the other side of this trail. If we kept going that way, another 4 miles, you could eventually take it all the way to another road where I started from originally, and had hiked in about 6 miles and found a campsite similar to where we're going tonight. And it was a weird night. Nothing happened, but it was just very, very wooded like this, and I waited too late to get my bear bag hung, and had to walk away from the camp for a little bit, and it was really, really dark out there, and I just kind of was creeping myself out, I think, hearing sounds in the woods, but nothing of note, probably just animals, whatever. Getting that sort of feeling, you know, the hair raising on the back of my neck, feeling certain points, and that was the first of it. almost 5 o'clock. Don't really have too much time. I wanted to go hike down the trail a ways, but you know, the day just got past me. I think we've got about an hour. We can go out and fill up water. Maybe go out into that meadow and check out some of the trees. Don't want to get back here too late. Would kind of like to see the sunset from up here, so let's hurry up and get over there. Assuming I survive the night, in the morning we'll probably go walk down the trail a ways. I want to go try and see if I can find some of those tree breaks. Tree breaks, if you're not familiar, usually what you hear that the big fellas do is break trees to mark areas, and a lot of times it looks like a lot of the ones that I've seen are aspen trees, and typically it'll be about 8 feet high, and it looks like the tree was just snapped. It just looks like a clean break usually, and it doesn't look like it happens naturally, so it's always really interesting. And if you read about Bigfoot, you'll find that tree breaks is one of the things that people say they do to mark territory or mark areas. But I don't know, your guess is as good as mine. So we were talking about belief in terms of Bigfoot. I mean, I don't really believe. I think it's either it's real or it's not. To accept that it's real, I'd have to see one for myself. You know, hearing something in the woods is not going to convince me. And so I'm partly a skeptic, but I'm also pretty open-minded, you know. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, anything. I wouldn't be surprised at really anything at this point. So it's a fun topic. But out here, like I was saying, this is sort of a hot spot, this area. We're not too far from the town of Bailey, and Bailey has a little gift shop called the Sasquatch Outpost. And I've never actually been in there, but seen pictures of it, checked them out online. I thought about maybe going over there for this video, but then I was like, I don't really like to include people usually, so I kind of wanted to just keep it to myself. And anyway, the Sasquatch Outpost, they have, it's just a gift shop, and they have books and things like that, and they've got pictures, and probably can tell you some stories. Specifically about this area, I don't know what it is, in the Lost Creek Wilderness near Bailey is kind of a hot spot for supposed activity, or there's been reports, people that have said they've had encounters out here. If you go look at the BFRO, the Bigfoot Research Organization, it's a website that has a sort of like a database for the country. It shows you like different counties, state by state, and you can look at where people have reported sightings or experiences. And for Colorado, for whatever reason, Bailey, or near here, Bailey has probably the most reported sightings. Not that it's a lot, it's like 12 or 13 for Park County, which is this area. And yeah, a couple of stories I'll tell you there at some point here. So tonight should be interesting. Hopefully it'll just be a nice, relaxing night. And honestly, I need to get some sleep, big time. Kind of running on fumes this afternoon, evening. Went out to the blood incantation show last night in Boulder. Boulder's like a good little drive for me from Colorado Springs, and getting there on a Friday afternoon took like 3 hours. Yeah, so I didn't get home until like 1 o'clock in the morning. I didn't even really sleep too much last night. I just kind of wired from the show and had to get up, get ready for this, and yeah, so kind of running on about 4 hours of sleep. So I hope to really crash tonight, as long as I had not disturbed by the big fella. it truly isn't real, then why do so many people say that they've seen it over many, many years now? Even the Native Americans have stories about the big fella. So is it all just an old wives' tale, or just Native American folklore, or so many thousands of people that have seen it even over the last 20 years? Well, I surely, honestly don't want to find out. Not tonight, at least. So, if you think I'm crazy for being out here by myself to sleep for the night after the subject matter, and you think I'm crazy, well then you must actually believe in Bigfoot. Because as far as I'm concerned, right now, it's just a legend. I would love for it to be true. I think it's kind of romantic in a way. Big mythical beast of the woods. I think that would be something. But honestly, I don't really want to find out. Not out here, at least. To really think I was going to come out here and have a Bigfoot experience like it's really real, like I think it's real, or just have a normal night in the woods. We'll see. Hopefully not. Very cool place here. Back to my campsite now. I'm gonna stop off, fill up some water, which is not too far from there, and cook up some food. I am starving. It's been a long day. Just getting up, getting out here, getting myself psyched up to do this. So far, so good. Very quiet. I've seen some day hikers out here today. So far, nobody camping, so it does feel like I am pretty much by myself out here. Cool rock formations up there. The real test is going to be late tonight, sleeping in the tent. That's going to be the real test. My hope is that I'm just knocked out so severely that I just don't even wake up. That's the hope. One thing's for sure, I am not going to go calling out in the night, trying to make whoop sounds or knocking on trees or anything like that. Just a normal night out in the woods. It's kind of funny how there's like pop culture now surrounding Bigfoot, you know, with all these television shows, which are all pretty dumb. I would say the only show I've seen that I thought was fairly legit, but got a little weird, was of course Les Stroud, Survivor Man, which unfortunately, you know, I mean, he really had one of the best shows as far as, you know, solo hiking, even though he was doing like survival stuff. And he's always been a huge influence on me. At some point he started doing Bigfoot episodes and he went down that rabbit hole, and a lot of his fans dropped him because of it. And it's pretty sad because, you know, some of those episodes were actually really good. A couple of them were a little weird, a little goofy. If you go down the rabbit hole into the Bigfoot phenomenon, like going to like social media sites, like all these Bigfoot groups and all this, man, it'll turn you away pretty quickly, because it's just nothing. A lot of people there just seem to be kind of out of their minds. You know, it's rare when you find the legit ones, like, say, like Dr. Meldrum, who is a anthropologist in Idaho who's done some great work. You know, for him, it's all about the footprints that he's found. These casts that he has contain dermal ridges in the footprints, and he claims that that's what makes them authentic. And it's pretty interesting. You know, I'm just a real anthropologist coming at it from that perspective. He seems to believe it's real. About 10 years ago, when I was getting into the subject, I thought it was a lot of fun. I really wanted to read everything I could about it, and once I went down that tunnel, it was just man, I got turned off pretty quickly, and really just kind of lost interest in it for a little while. But I've always kind of kept a keen mind as I'm out in the woods, just kind of trying to notice my surroundings, you know, hopefully notice anything out of the ordinary, which for the most part never happens. We'll definitely talk more about it tomorrow. At this point, I kind of want to just get comfortable, get a fire going, and completely put it out of my mind. Put some music on and get ready for tonight. I bet you want to see me in my undies, so you're seeing it right here. There's definitely quite a bit of firewood out here, so I don't think we're going to have any issues getting the fire started tonight. Everything is very dry, and I'm going to keep that sucker going for a while until I go to bed. Good morning. Completely uneventful night. I crashed pretty hard. Woke up twice, 2 or 3 times actually. Once to get up and pee, and just trying to get warm and comfortable, shifting back and forth. But I'm glad that it is morning and completely uneventful night. Very quiet. Nothing to report, I'm happy to say. Really don't have anything to protect myself except for bear spray and my buck knife.
I don't fool around with taking firearms out on the trail. It's just not something I really feel like dealing with or am too concerned about. If I was to bring anything, it'd be like a handgun, and against something like an 8-foot tall bipedal creature, I doubt would have much effect. But at least I have something to deter any animals or anything else. It says mountain lion country as well, so. Cheers. Nothing like a little bit of apple cinnamon oatmeal and a nice cup of coffee to go with the morning. Very beautiful morning. I can't imagine anything being a threat out here. Just a very welcoming spot here. I think my fears have been averted for spending the night by myself out here. I will admit, when I got up in the middle of the night last night, I just put it out of my mind, did my business, and just went back as quickly as possible. I'll finish my coffee here, food, and pack up, hit the trail, and go look for some Bigfoot evidence. Hopefully we at least find some tree breaks or something like that, or we'll see. Okay, now look at this.
And there's the remainder. Honestly, that looks like it could have happened naturally. I'm not really sure how. It's not very tall either. It's about as tall as myself, which is almost 6 feet. So your guess is as good as mine. And how that broke like that. This is a very neat little spot here. All of the aspens have pretty much fallen. There's quite a bit of leaves still up there. Wow. Incredible. Well, this is where the big fellows are. Sure picked a nice place to live. All right. This is where it'll hopefully get interesting. Let's see what we see. I think the key is to be looking to the right here at this slope. Though, honestly, I don't know why anybody would want to go up that. It's steep as hell. Wow. What do you think of this hike? Absolutely amazing. It is really quite magical in here. These aspens. Wow. A lot of these have already pretty much fallen for the year. All right, it's about to open up here. And so far, not seeing anything out of the ordinary. Wow. This is just beautiful. This is just beautiful. Oh wow. Look at this. Look at that. Wow, now that is a nice campsite right there. Wowie. Oh yeah. I don't know if you can see it yet. Okay, yeah. This is typically what they look like, but this doesn't look like what I'm looking for. They're typically snapped like that. And that's about 10 feet high. That is very high, but to me, I don't know if you can see the top there. I'll try and zoom in a bit here. I don't know. You see that big sort of mound looking formation on the tree. I see those on aspens pretty often. I'm not sure why they do that, but it's pretty cool. And I wonder if that's what caused it to break. But this is kind of what it looks like, a real tree break. But to me, that just looks, it doesn't look deliberate. But it is very, very tall. That's almost too tall, even for say, a 9-foot animal to get up there and break that. But that is what it looks like though. Hoping we can find one with a bit more clean break that doesn't look natural. Yeah, that, I don't think that's it. All right, well, interesting. Okay, here is one, but this is too small. But you can see it does look kind of deliberate. You know what I mean? Like, what else would break that? Maybe snow? Must be a midget Bigfoot. Interestingly though, if you can kind of see where this one starts, the one past it, it's kind of cool. Another one that's interesting. Yeah, this one to me feels too tall. Looks very similar to that last one we saw. Nothing really unnatural looking about it, to be honest, but still gonna show it. And then another one right here. This one also looks very similar to the last one. Let's see if I can. And that's about 9 feet tall. But once again, these breaks I'm seeing are just not, I don't know. Looks like it could have been broke. Honestly, I really wouldn't care about this stuff, but I just don't see trees like this very often. Aspens like this, they're just snapped like that last one. This place is very squatchy. The broke one, and that is about, I would say, 8 to 9 feet tall. Those look like, I mean, it just looks like it was just snapped. Is that weird? It's not heavy at all. Not a big, definitely not a big branch, but interesting how it's just broke. This is pretty perfect right here. I would say it's about, let's see, 7 feet tall. Myself next to it. Trying to stand as close as I can, and you can see where it is in relation to my height. see. It's almost a perfect snap. I've seen better ones than that, where it's just completely snapped perfectly half and half. This is like more like torn, but I don't know, you tell me. It's pretty interesting though. I would say this is definitely the best one I've seen so far. And up there, I wonder what we would find. I'll tell you this, I'm definitely not going to find out. I don't know if you can see, but some pretty good depressions in the ground here. Right next to this broken tree. And one more little one. Yeah, it looks like it's broken. Exactly the same as the other one. That's right up there. There's that really nice one. And now there's this little one. It's still about, let's say 6.5, 7 feet. Interesting. All right, here we go. One more. Ooh, that's a good one. Oh shit. This is a very tall one. It's almost too tall. But zoom in there. So there's one right there. Right up in there. And then there's a smaller one. Right over here. Let's see it. Sorry. Right there. It is very odd and uncanny, to be honest. That was really interesting to see 3 of them so close together. If I would have gone further down the trail, I would have topped out eventually. And there's an area up there, just a huge aspen grove, and it's beautiful, but that place has a real creep out factor. Sure, I would have found more, but I'm pretty happy with what we found so far. So from the campsite I came in about 2 miles, 2.5 miles maybe. So I've got about 6 miles to hike back, about 4 miles to the campsite, get the rest of the gear that I stashed, and start making my way out of here. I'll keep a keen eye for anything else, but I think I've seen enough. I for sure would not spend the night anywhere up here. I don't know if I saw this one coming in. Damn, they're just everywhere. Another one, about 8 feet high. It's kind of hard to see because it's in the shadow. Snapped right in half. Wow. If you've got balls of steel, you'd go up there. Go see what's going on up there. Not me. Not me for sure. I've seen enough. Definitely enough. The thing about these tree breaks is, I feel like I did some research on it some years back. I just remember feeling like some of the stuff I read, they were like, well, you know, it could be this and it could be that, it could be snow knocking down the tree, it could be wind knocking it down, it could be lightning. From what I remember, I just don't recall coming across anything that concretely could explain how those trees break like that. So I don't know, your guess is as good as mine, but if you got any ideas on it, please leave a comment, let me know. Oh, look at this. That is quite the view. Absolutely stunning. So I was alluding to some of those stories on the BFRO I was reading up on this week, and one of the most interesting ones was probably about 20 miles that way, back that way. There was a mother and a daughter out on a hike. I think it was 2014, and they were, I think, off trail getting to these two little peaks called the Twin Cone, I think it's called. I'm not familiar with those, I've never actually done them. But as they were coming down, they were hearing loud growling and whooping type sounds, and they said that something was throwing rocks at them. And they were terrified. The mother deployed an air horn, and they were running. They said they smelled something really awful as well, a dirty animal. And I think the mother claimed to have seen a figure that was throwing the rocks at them. But that's what they reported. And who knows, about not too far from this area. There's quite a few other ones. I mean, they're all pretty interesting. There was one guy who was camping with his kids not too far that way as well, near the Terrial Reservoir, and heard something yelling and coming into their camp that night. I think he actually saw it too. Had his shotgun because he was a hunter, and reported that up on the BFRO. But I think the most interesting one was that mother and daughter story. Sure, there's countless others that have been not actually reported. You know, say what you will, but the BFRO, to me, it's like no different than like the VAERS system in terms of you know, people go up there, they claim an encounter, and they actually have supposed researchers that follow up with them and go scope out the site. I certainly didn't want to try and go find that specific site for sure. But other stories just surrounding in the Lost Creek Wilderness here. Just hearing loud sounds, whooping, tree knocking, things like that. And of course the tree breaks. Well, all in all, this was a lot of fun. I feel like I came into this area with a great deal of respect and reverence for the place. Come out here, be low impact, and see what you see. Honestly, guys, I'm just out here having fun with this. I'm gonna do one more video for this subject, and that's it. That will be the end of ever discussing this subject on my channel. Maybe not never. I think it's about time to wrap this video up. Hope you had fun squatching with me out in Lost Creek Wilderness. Obviously, there's a little bit of embellishment in this episode you'll see in the beginning, but you know, man, it's October, it's almost Halloween, and we're having fun. We're having fun with the subject. That's the whole point. I am very happy to contribute this episode in the fine spirit of all those television shows that we love so much, where all these guys go out in the woods looking for Bigfoot and they don't find shit. So hopefully you'll find that this video is par for the course, and I am very glad and happy to add it to the pantheon of non-Bigfoot episodes that exist out there. I hope you enjoyed part one of this very short two-part series that I'm doing on the myth and the legend of Sasquatch. Hopefully I'll get the next one shot before the winter sets in. Now that place, I've got some cool stuff planned, but I don't think I'm going to spend the night there. It's just going to be a long day, but plan on going back out to the spot where me and my wife had something happen to us that we are not able to explain. It's mainly what we heard. I don't want to tease it too much, but I think you'll find it interesting, and it happened about 7 years ago, so it's been quite some time to reflect on it. And it's definitely the inspiration for doing this two-part series. So, as always, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, shoot me a comment, let me know what you guys think. Helps me and gives me inspiration to shoot more of these videos. And hope you're having a great fall. Gonna see you real soon.